Set it up. Tell me a story.
Yeah, so I was high and I was watching Law and Order. Well, the missus was watching Law and Order, and I thought, I can get into anything right now.
Sure.
So I lie down, and she was getting annoyed at me because the subject matter is really, really serious. Obviously,
absolutely.
like it's Special Victims Unit. It's all about people that have been raped and molested and murdered and whatnot. But the acting and the cinematography and the direction is so funny. I've giggled at it a couple times, not high.
Okay.
So when I was high, I was giggling nonstop.
So yeah, it just actually set you off.
So what happens is they bring in these actors because obviously every episode they need a new victim, they need relatives of the victim, like witnesses, and they need a perpetrator. So these are single serving characters.
Yeah.
So they get in actors.
They're not coming back for a next episode.
And obviously, like they do get some big actors to do it. Like so, right now she's on Amazon, which is season 5 to 7. If anyone's a fan of that bloody show, so they do get some popular actors, and some actors make it from there. Like one of the girls in it was the girl that went on to be the daughter in Californication. She was on it.
Oh yeah.
But so these actors, I think, like have a chance to be on a network show, and they act their fucking hearts out. Sure. And there's a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids, and they are just fucking going for it. They are acting, and some of it, I've got to say, is really funny.
That's great.
Just because of how fucking ham it is. Oh fuck.
Deuce. You gonna do an intro? An intro? No intros. We don't need an intro. We're too good for that.
Whatever. I'll rename the pod. But anyway, so the other funny thing about it, the other real funny part I find in SVU is they do, when they're talking in the precinct, you know, all the cops and the retired rapper that's there.
He's still there?
With a cool drinks name. So when they're talking,
great.
they do these pan shots.
Yep.
And so it's a one shot, and they pan from like character to character. But in those pan shots, they will also have the characters move around.
Yeah.
And if you're, because I'm obviously into filmography and video stuff, and when you're into that and you've got the focus, like the real specific focus of someone that's ingested into their lungs the marijuana, you can almost see the marks on the floor where they're walking.
You know they're hitting,
and there was one bit I lost it, and Holly was so mad at me.
It's like West Wing with their hallway walks.
So two of them had moved, and they were talking to each other, and then they moved to these perfect spots where there was one person in the background, and then at the very you could see them through the gaps that the two people that had moved across each other left. And then at the very end of the scene, they all turn towards the camera for like a trailer shot.
We just did the opposite then, that's great.
Okay, do it again. I'm sure that looked great.
Pose.
So if you were listening to this on the podcast, go to the YouTube video for that pan shot. So this is the second episode of
episode 2
of the Legend of Podcast. So at the top of every episode, I wanted to do rapid fire questions, but since we don't have a guest, we did it for you because you were the co-host the first episode, and we'll do it for guests. But I guess
where's your questions? Give me the questions. I'll read them to you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I've lost them.
Oh no.
No rapid fire.
Well, I mean, it was last game played.
Yeah. What was your last game played?
I played Super Mario Wii U earlier today.
Awesome.
The ghost houses can eat a dick, by the way.
Sure.
And then movie watched.
Mic's in front of your mouth. Is that going to matter for the YouTubes?
Yeah, I keep...
you gotta fix that. You gotta fix that.
Man, this pop filter sucks.
Yeah. So last movie watched.
Fuck, what was that? Oh, Pokemon I Choose You.
Oh, yeah, you watched
that yesterday.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Yeah, that's alright.
Out of 10?
I mean...
7 nostalgias out of 10?
Yeah, for what it is. I mean, it hits probably a solid 6 or 7.
Yeah, cool.
But in the grand scheme of movies, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is probably not going to score anywhere near like
sure.
The Godfather.
For
But
sure. Last book read.
the last book I read, well, I listened to it because that's how I consume media these days, digitally. Was Tuesdays with Maury.
Yeah. Okay.
If you've ever read it, it's about there's like a sports writer guy. He writes the book. But like it's this true retelling of. He had a college professor named Maury who developed ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
And so the guy goes back and visits Maury and then just keeps visiting him like every Tuesday and talking to him about dying, basically. And like he deteriorates like throughout these lessons. And so it's like even reread by the author, the audiobook. And yeah, if you don't
author, that's different from an audiobook.
Yeah, so obviously when he does the voices of Maury and stuff, you think it's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, just this old man talks about the important things in life and the unimportant things, and how dying gave him perspective. And
absolutely.
And then he dies, and if you don't cry at the end of it, then you're dead inside.
Then you're not human.
It's one of Holly's favorite books, and she's like, yeah, if you don't cry at the end, we probably have to break up. But no, I wept. I listened to the end of it while working, and I just had to stop. I was just like, I'm gonna miss Maury so much.
Do you read any actual physical books anymore, or you all?
I mean, I haven't in a while. Like I read on planes.
Yeah, sure.
But I've been reading like the first Game of Thrones on like 8 different flights.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere around the world, and I haven't finished it.
You're on the audio?
Yeah, because audio. Like I've got my Audible subscription, and I walk the dogs and listen to audiobooks.
Doesn't Audible do the?
And I can work.
The dual thing where it saves your spot in your ebook, and you can listen to the audiobook, and you go between the two. Is that Audible?
I don't know, but I
think it's anyway. Yeah.
I mean, I got it for listening.
I got a little Kindle that I read a lot of stuff on still. So
yeah.
What was last movie watch? No, that was Pokemon.
TV show. TV show. Yeah, what did we watch? I thought we started watching the new season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is
nice,
hilarious. And we hadn't finished the last season of South Park, so we watched one of the last episodes. We got like 1 or 2 more episodes of that.
Yeah, I think I'm a couple episodes behind on that now too. Actually, the last one I watched was the Satan versus.
The last one we watched was the Amazon one.
I don't even know anymore.
With Jeff Bezos being like,
the
big head.
I think I'm one ahead of you. So
I think that's the last one. I think.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I think we had 2 left, and we watched the second to last one. So that was probably the last one.
I watched the Bezos one then, so that I'm caught up.
Jeff Bezos' wife is about to become the richest woman in the world, just for divorcing him.
Yeah, even 1% of if she gets 1% of his fortune, it's still the biggest divorce settlement in history.
Yeah, but apparently there's no prenup, so she's going to get like it's going to be like 50-50, and she's going to get 75 billion or something crazy.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? You'd think that.
No, fuck it. Like he's got 75 billion. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, absolutely.
Sorry, you won 50 billion, went to 75.
You'd think there would be some type of pre or post-nuptial agreement between somebody with that much money.
I think they got married before.
He
made the fortune. Yeah. So why would you have a prenup when you're just like
when you're just some schlub?
Yeah, some schlub with an e-shop. Like,
yeah, right.
I sell audiobooks. Okay.
Yeah, great.
Let's not bother with the prenup, you poor piece of shit. Selling books, that's a dying
that's really going to take off. Is that all the rapid fire questions?
There was last podcast.
Last podcast. Yeah.
Fuck, what did I listen to last? Fighter and the Kid, I reckon.
Sure.
With
not familiar. Would you like to tell me what that is?
Sorry, it's just a couple comedians.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Brendan Schaub is he's an ex-fighter. And now he's like a stand-up comedian, and
Joe Rogan stars. Rogan.
Well, Rogan wasn't really a fighter. This guy was a professional fighter, but he's friends with Rogan.
Yeah.
Rogan
did some MMA stuff, didn't
he? He commentates it and like calls it and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever.
And anyway.
Brian something, the kid.
Sure.
I forget his name, but he is hilarious. He's one of my favorite.
Awesome.
One of my favorite comedians by far.
Cool.
And I forget his last name.
Fantastic. Must be your favourite name.
But yeah, yeah. And Will Sasso was on the last episode I watched.
Cool.
He's from Mad TV, and he's obviously very funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
those are your rapid fire questions.
I watch a lot of YouTube podcasts, which is why I want to do this one. Because I don't know, like, it's just funnier.
You like seeing the people react? Is that the thing for you?
Yeah, and they do. They a lot of them have visual elements. Like I watch Your Mum's House, and they've got clips and
yeah, sure.
Bobby Lee standing up and taking his dick out. It's always pretty funny on his podcast.
Sure.
Even like Fire and the Kid, not this one, but the last one with Will Sasso. They kept fighting each other, and then they put on jock jams and just dance on each other's laps. All of these podcasts are much better than mine. If you want to flick over, I've got more recommendations, or maybe stick around.
Who knows? This could turn.
I'm not going to dance on him because he's my brother.
Yeah, please don't. All right, so
we're going to get the meat of it. We've got some topics.
We've got some topics for episode 2.
Got my reading glasses. Well, the first thing, because we did games, we focused so much on games, so now I've put down some movie stuff. So we've got Spider-Man has just released their trailer.
Yep.
Which was...
Did that hit, yesterday? Day before?
Yeah, I just watched it today. It's
cool.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's cool. Like, I loved how one of the dudes says, like, what was it, ball bag or something?
Yeah.
Bullsack? What the fuck was it?
Something
Something like that.
He says that he respects Spider-Man because he saves people, and then he turns to Peter and goes, "What's up, nutsack or bullsack?" Yeah, I can't remember.
Something,
but it's something like that. Yeah.
But it got a good chuckle out of me. I was like, "Oh, what? That's not Disney. That's so not Disney."
I'm still a bit annoyed that one of the maths nerds is also the bad, like the bully of the high school. He's just as nerdy as the rest of them, and he's Flash Thompson. He's the bully of the school.
Hey man, like nerds can be tough now.
The
line between jock and nerd is Terry Crews killed it.
Yeah, Terry Crews. Gotta love that man. Did you see any of the?
Did you see? Oh, wait,
I don't want to call it controversy, but
wait. Before we get to that, I just want to say another jock nerd thing. Did you see that video? What's the dude who's in Magic Mike? He's also in How I Met Your Mother. Like big tough. He plays Brad in How I Met Your Mother. I forget his name. But apparently he's like a big D&D fan, and he works with like Wizards of the Coast or whatever.
Well,
he started Magic Mike or Magic Mike 2.
Not the main guy. Isn't that John Cena? No, that's a wrestler.
No, it's not John Cena, but John Cena is in some of them.
He's in.
No, the dude with like long black hair.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, anyway, I just saw a video of him. He's a massive D&D nerd, and his character that he's been playing for like 15 years has just been like made canon.
Oh, fantastic!
So he's like another like tough, cool, sexy nerd.
I probably have seen this guy then because I watch all the Wizards of the Coast streams.
Oh yeah, I mean like, all right, let's just cut into it. We'll just show him, and then you just go, yeah,
of course.
See?
Yeah,
we'll edit that in later, and then you'll know.
Yeah, won't make sense on the stream, but wait till the video.
Yeah.
So the Spider-Man trailer.
So that's set before.
No, it's set after.
What?
Yeah, this is the controversy, quote unquote, that I've been talking about.
That's what you're about to say.
Yeah,
before I cut you off.
The internet went crazy because the director comes out and goes, "Well, this is set after Endgame. This is set after not just the
spoilers,
the latest Avengers movie, but the one that's not to be released yet." No, we've had the one trailer from that, and we'll talk about that one, I'm sure, in a bit too. Have you seen the latest Avengers yet? You caught up finally?
Yeah, I've seen. I still haven't watched Black Panther. That's the one.
Okay, sure, but you've seen.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. So
Infinity War.
Spoilers: everybody dies, or do they? And that's a big thing. But the thing is, before we even went into that Avengers movie, we knew that Black Panther had been okayed for a sequel. We knew that Spider-Man had been okayed for a sequel. And then everyone loses their shit when the Spider-Man trailer comes out.
Business ruins the story.
Right. Everyone loses their shit because they're like, oh no, this is set after that. Oh, so Spider-Man and Nick Fury, who also stars in the trailer, they obviously come back to life. Well, fucking of course they do, because they're two of the main Marvel characters, and it's never going to be a permanent thing at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah, well, I mean, they only just cast this kid. They didn't cast like a young dude to play Spider-Man just to kill him off in like his first Avengers movie.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah,
if they're going to kill anyone off, it's going to be the oldies.
Yeah, exactly. The people that have been around since the beginning of Phase 1. And I know I've already got a couple of ideas when that's going to happen, but
didn't Chris Evans already say he doesn't want to be? It was going to be his last.
He
Avengers
kind of did a goodbye in a Twitter thing, and then like Disney and stuff came out and went, oh, but he's still going to be around. I think that was kind of just covering the tracks a little bit, but he basically said goodbye to the Captain America character in one of his tweets. So
when business ruins the story.
When business ruins the story, absolutely, man. And
it happens all the time. Like there's a few shows that we watch that people are going to be written out of soon.
Yeah, sure.
Like we're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and we already know that Sorry for anyone that doesn't know this.
Spoilers. Again, this has been all over the internet for...
Yeah, well, Chelsea Peretti did a bit of a goodbye.
Yeah.
Shameless.
Well, she said she's going to be, recurring character, but she wasn't going to be full cast in this latest one or something. That's what...
Something like that. Well, Emily Rossum said she's genuinely leaving Shameless.
Okay.
And then Chelsea Peretti retweeted that, saying same. Because, like, Emily Rossum, did a big goodbye post. It was super long. And Chelsea Peretti retweeted. I think she highlighted sections of it and just wrote same.
Same. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
which is a very Chelsea Peretti thing to do, though. So.
Oh yeah, apparently she's the funniest on that cast, and I'd believe it. She's like the main stand-up person.
But with that cast, with Sandberg and stuff on that cast,
well, Sandberg's not that funny in real life. Have you seen interviews? He's very low. He's very low key and serious. Sure. Yeah, he's like a shy dude.
Him to be Saturday Night Live.
Because well, watch the Hot Ones with Terry Crews, and again, I bet a show better than this one. If you guys want to click over, it's on YouTube. So
the Hot Ones.
Good show. But yeah, they ask him who's the funniest on the cast, and he says Chelsea by far. Because it's funny because and
they're coming from Terry as well.
He might be super fucking funny as well. I think those two would probably be pretty funny. But he knows that everyone expects Andy to be like the funniest. Sure. So he launches Andy's really down to business. Like he doesn't even no one mentions it. He just goes straight to that. He's like, who is funny? And from what I've seen in interviews, Andy Samberg's just a fairly shy type of dude.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah, not what I would have guessed at all.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a good actor though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You can just be funny when the camera's on. See, I'm funny in real life, and then the camera comes on, and I'm just like...
You're in the headlights?
Yeah, pretty much. They are bright lights.
They are bright, man. It's good. Makes us look good. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, nothing worse than a poorly lit video.
Spider-Man. So, Jake Gyllenhaal as the bad guy?
Is he the bad guy?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because he sort of seems to be helping and telling Spider-Man you don't want to... He's fighting the elementals in the thing, so he's sort of a...
Yeah. But he's also Mysterio, who's old school Spider-Man bad guy.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but I don't remember that.
Fishbowl Head.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. That's the only one people should use anyway. I like the casting. I think it's.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal a lot. He's so good looking. And that's coming from a straight man. I would do him for sure.
Wouldn't even think.
Not even that, but if I had to write 5 celebrities freebies, he'd
probably make the list.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad Pitt's getting old, so
you got to whittle that list to something and have some cutoff points here.
Yeah, you got to have one guy on there, just
because
if you're gonna have a freebie and you meet Brad Pitt and he's good to go and he's not on my list,
yeah, but what if you put Gyllenhaal on your list and then you meet Brad Pitt though?
Oh no, it's hard, isn't it?
See, you've already fucked up the
crush list, freebies. Man. It's although I don't know, Jared Leto. That guy does it all. He acts and he sings. And
he rock climbs. Have you seen him rock climbing? Come on.
No, God, I don't want to. You'd see all those sweaty arms, at full tension.
Yeah, Don't follow him on Instagram and Facebook if you're not into watching.
I'm doing that the second we turn this off.
All right.
Captain Marvel. Are you keen for Captain Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely. See, Captain Marvel, I think, is going to set the next 10 years of story for Marvel.
They had me when she punched that woman in the face.
Yeah, right.
That was the best.
Yeah,
it's I see you.
So that to me,
I had to watch that part twice of the trailer. And then I saw all the memes rolling through,
sure, yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God I'm not the only weirdo that loves seeing an old woman get punched in the face.
No, absolutely not. See, that to me though has really you're not that well versed in the Marvel comic world, are you?
Nah, no. Not at all, actually.
I know where...
I used to watch the Spider-Man cartoon. That was the best.
That was so good, the 90s cartoon. And the X-Men 90s cartoon. I remember we watched that as well. We used to watch that.
They had the Rhino dude.
That song still... I hear Jodie just out of nowhere humming the 90s X-Men theme every now and then. And it'll become an earworm for fucking a week, man.
Well, you just did that bit. Now it's like...
Yeah, right.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it's
fuck you for doing that to me. Fuck you forever.
Week. Yeah, don't worry. I've done it to myself, so it's going to be rolling around this brain as well, man.
Yeah.
But the whole hitting the chick in the face thing, right? That tells me that there is shapeshifters, and that's a big thing.
Well, it shows it in the second trailer. She does.
Secret Wars, maybe. Oh man, the real Marvel nerds are gonna be down my throat if that's the wrong comic series. But there was a limited series in this era,
dude. I don't read the comics, but it's one of those things that I feel like now, if you wanted to read them, you're in for a lot of shit that you've got to learn to keep up.
No, I think it's getting easier nowadays thanks to the internet. You can find great guides on, all right, you want to read...
Even the stuff you tell me, like my eyes start to glaze over when you start talking about different dimensions and timelines.
No, it's just that there's so much of it. That's the main thing. But if you keep to, say, standard storylines, you can go back and read Secret Wars or, one good collected series, which might only be 10 or 12 comic books, and they're small. You put it into one trade paperback, and that's a full series. The only thing is they've been around for 70 years, so there's 3,000 of those individual collected stories.
And they don't all work together, or they do if you fiddle around with time and
that's dimensions. Where the multiverse thing started, because people wanted to take these characters that they'd created and loved and do something different with them. But the main bosses at DC and Marvel turn around and goes, you can't make Superman do that. Well, I can if he's a different universe as Superman.
Yeah. Peter Parker would never do that. Well,
but then
now someone different as Spider-Man.
Absolutely. And
now
then
we killed him too. We got bored of that guy.
Then they wanted to make all of these universes work together. And end of the day, you just take it with a grain of their comic books, and they'll do whatever they want. But there is great continuity if you look for it. The writers actually have done much better job in the comic books than they have in the movies, tying things together, in my opinion, a lot of things, but that's because they have a lot of time and stuff to do it. But the shapeshifter thing is going to be one of the next big arcs, I think, of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm really excited to see where that happens, because I liked what they did with it in the comic books.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Are the X-Men going to be folded in? Now that Disney's bought...
That's a big question, and I think they have to. If not the X-Men, definitely certain X-Men. Wolverine is definitely...
Yeah, I'm going to audition for Wolverine.
Wolverine's
they hired an Australian next time. I think I could be a young Wolverine.
Yeah, maybe.
I have to get fit.
You have to get fit and become Canadian, but...
Way fitter. Become Canadian. Hugh Jackman's not Canadian. Yeah, he played Wolverine for many, many years.
But you're also not Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, but, I mean... I can find Hugh Jackman and get him to train me to be
Notice me, senpai. Yeah.
I think I'll start with musical theatre if I have to.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I can dance if I want to.
You can leave my friends behind.
I can go be Wolverine. How fun would that be?
Oh, fuck no.
Actually, I think it'd suck. No, well...
No. You want the Disney money, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, you want that Disney money. I want the
Disney money.
That Marvel money.
Uh-huh. Ching, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, look at Chris Pratt, if he could do it. I mean, he was hilarious and good looking, as a pudgy guy.
And then he got ripped. And became
I mean, you get that role, and then they make you ripped. They'll get you ripped.
Oh yeah, you got they'll send the
Disney.
To your
Disney
door
will send you a guy, knock, get up,
get the fuck out
gym
of bed.
time.
Absolutely, yeah.
They'll Chris Pratt you for sure.
I'm still sad that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been put on hiatus.
Oh my god, I have so many things. I have so many thoughts about that.
Like Chris Pratt and
I read out all of those old tweets to Holly, and she was like, "This is disgusting." I'm like, "Yeah, but they're just old dumb jokes." I mean, I get
why. Yeah, absolutely.
Every day though, someone's old tweets are being brought up.
But it's destroyed probably one of the strongest pieces of that Marvel puzzle too, man. I really enjoyed...
Those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Those two movies are my favorites out of the entire Marvel universe.
If you have a look at the entire Marvel cinematic thing, right, they've done the Earth's Mightiest Heroes with the Avengers. Now they've got Captain Marvel, who's like this alien human hybrid or whatever they're going to do in the cinematic universe. They're moving into the space era.
Oh yeah, they had Earth, and then they had Thor.
Yep.
And that was it. They had the Link, and then they had a few other planets based
Guardians
around.
Are all,
fucking Thor's world.
That's right.
What's Thor's world?
Asgard.
Asgard, this one.
So they're moving into the whole...
But yeah, Guardians 1 has Thanos.
Yep.
That's where you meet, and then Guardians 2 obviously expands that whole thing, and it's the crux it was the backbone basically of the whole thing. Like the Avengers was like, the heart of it, but then Guardians was the backbone of the story. So
what I think might happen now that Guardians has disappeared though is they'll do
a 3. Like they're just gonna reshuffle it.
But like Batista, Dave Batista,
that's right.
He said he would not come back unless Gunn comes back.
God, I love Dave Batista.
Yeah,
his character in that is
amazing.
Sensational, but he also is just a sensational human from everything I've seen and heard.
What I think will replace Guardians, I still think Guardians will come back in some way, shape, or form. It has to, because it's a big part. The whole Gamora and Thanos thing. It's a big piece of the glue of what they're doing with Marvel at the moment.
Did she die?
Yeah.
Was she in the stone?
No, I think she might be one of the actual deaths. Her and Loki, I think, are a couple of the only proper true deaths in Infinity Wars.
And he barely got any screen time.
Yeah, I know. But he's
like, we're going to kill you off in the opener.
His own Disney TV series. I don't know if it's the same actor, but it's doing a Loki streaming service.
Have you watched any of the Netflix ones? Just aside.
The Marvel?
Yeah. Like I watched the first bit of
Daredevil, Luke Cage. I watched pretty much all of them, yeah.
Really? I watched the first few.
Luke Cage. I didn't watch much of it.
I watched the first few Daredevil seasons and then sort of fell out of it. But there's so many. There's there's Punisher, there's Luke Cage, there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't watch any of them.
Iron Fist was pretty good, but he's just... Danny Rand's a crappy character. It's just, the Batman archetype, rich kid, mystical training somehow, powers kind of, but not.
Is that the one that kind of looked like a buff, like square-headed Chris Pratt?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He just whinges for about 2 seasons, and I don't know.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, a little bit.
What about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is that any good?
I haven't watched much of that one.
Okay.
But apparently it is, and apparently that one's going to tie to Miss Marvel a bit more because
that's the thing. Like
aliens
I want to enjoy
Marvel are in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I want to enjoy the movies because they're obviously they're big movies, and like I don't read all the comics. I don't get that deep into it, but I really like the movies and I like how they all tie in together. I really liked Infinity War. I hadn't seen Black Panther, but the rest of them all tied into it, and that was all really cool.
I still think you don't need the comics, man. The comics are their own thing.
Yeah, like some people start arguing on the internet about which characters should be able to do what and what's coming up and stuff, absolutely. And I don't care about all of that. But I just don't want to have to watch the series to fully enjoy it.
Yeah,
to enjoy
the movies.
Yeah, I want to enjoy the movies the maximum. If I have to watch a great series for that, then
I think a lot of people are trying too hard to connect the TV shows with the movie cinema universe, even though they're absolutely connected. Like in Daredevil, you literally have people calling it the incidents that happened in Hell's Kitchen and downtown, which was the first Avengers movie where the aliens destroyed. Like they talk about it, and Kingpin goes, some alien with a giant hammer, and they.
That's so funny. Like imagine being Daredevil and you're just like, I'm fighting crime.
And then suddenly,
there's
fast.
There's like way better ones. There's way better heroes just fighting way more important shit. But I'm gonna beat up this fist guy.
Yeah, I'll keep fighting. But they're immortal ninja. Anyway, that's But yeah, absolutely. They're a different tier of things, and they are totally connected. Marvel has made a bit of an effort to connect them, somewhat. But then you get the real fans who try to really connect them too much. Let them be their own separate things. The TV shows are good for what they are, and they can do stuff that the Disney stuff will not touch.
Yeah.
Like the Punisher will not work in the Disney cinematic universe because it's Disney. And the Punisher is literally shooting people every episode.
I wouldn't mind Deadpool being folded in. Well, that's one comic I did read was Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. And
that's great.
He killed all of them.
If you want some comics but not the full thing, just read all the Deadpool, not even the Deadpool main series, but all of his single series.
Yeah, those are all fun.
Some of them are 4 to 6 episodes long, and they're amazing. If you like Deadpool Kills That, there's Deadpool Kills Deadpool. Deadpool versus Spider-Man is another really great one because he loves Spider-Man, like has the biggest crush on Spider-Man. I think it's great.
Everyone's just begging for a Deadpool Spider-Man movie. Yeah, because now we have the exact right people in those two roles. The right
Deadpool and the right Spider-Man. It'll be great. Absolutely.
How good was that meme I sent you earlier? It was someone posted just a joke article about what's his name, the Spider-Man
Tom
kid?
Holland.
Tom Holland accidentally uploads entire Avengers 4 movie to
to Twitter. And he's
then,
stressed out.
And then he replies to it on Twitter saying, I actually panicked for a moment. Like, this stressed me out. Like, did I do that?
Flashbacks to Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
He's just, all of the press releases.
The press was just like...
stopped him every time. That was a great little team up. I really like that. They gave him a chaperone here. Let one of the professionals...
Well, there's even like some clips of the others doing it. And then they're just like... Cumberbatch is on at the most. You're just doing interviews with him from now on.
Yeah.
Plus, I guess they'd probably do the English ones because they're both English.
Yeah, because they're both English.
How good of like an actor though? Like when you hear someone like Holland speak in real life, you're like, "Fuck, you're so young," and you can just drop that accent.
Yeah,
I can't do an accent like for a whole movie. Are you crazy?
For a whole movie,
like I can do it's not like a couple accents for like a piss up, but it's not going to convince half the world that watched the Avengers for a whole movie. Like that's crazy. Like when you think acting's just acting, just like saying words, then you're a fucking idiot. Try doing
it's a lot more than that.
An American accent. Like, I don't even know how. Like we speak.
Coaches.
We speak. Generally, we're not too ochre Australian.
Yeah, sure.
But every American goes like, "Oh, where are you from? Are you English? Are you Australian?" They know we're not American. Like, I can't convince people I've got like an American accent.
Practice just with anything.
Not unless I go for like a real Chicago. Or like a southern accent.
Yeah.
I can't just do the that flat LA.
Try to get that Boston accent or something really.
Yeah, like the ones that are far out. But then it just sounds like
a caricature of the actual
accent. Just to get that LA accent, just to do the straight American accent. I don't. Maybe
3 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. What's the other one? Avengers. Well, we haven't talked about Avengers.
Yeah.
The trailer yet.
Huh?
The trailer came out this year.
Yeah.
He's out in Iron Man's just out in space.
Yep.
Just dying.
Couple of things that I think
Ant-Man makes that trailer.
Ant-Man's back, and again, this is another thing that annoyed me about the Spider-Man thing. Everyone got pissed off that it's after and they come back. Well, the end of you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No, I haven't actually.
Spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's not part of the people that disappear, but he's trapped somewhere as well at the end of that movie, and then he shows up at the Avengers doorstep. So obviously,
at least they can like fill that in though.
Yeah, well,
just like he rocks up.
I gotta
watch that one too. They're all on Stan now. If you're in Australia and you got Stan.
Worth a watch. I quite like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I like Ant-Man's bringing that levity. It's one of the less serious of the.
I really like
movies.
Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd's great.
I'm a big Paul Rudder. I'm a Rudder.
What's her name? Evangeline Lilly? Kate from Lost. For anybody that's old enough to remember Lost.
She's hot.
She's the Wasp. One of the original Avengers in the comic books. So I reckon she's going to become part of the main team moving forward.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, and back in the old school, I think she was maybe original team of the Avengers before. Like the team that we saw in the Avengers movie is nowhere close to the original team. That was like version 4 or 5 or something like that. Maybe. Man, any real comic nerds that end up watching this are going to like destroy me.
Was Wolverine in the Avengers? Probably at some point.
He has been at some point for sure.
I've seen the pictures.
But like Wolverine's totally going to end up in it somewhere. I really like the Avengers trailer though. It was probably one of the better Marvel trailers. They finally figured out how to do trailers without spoiling the entire third act.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Infinity War trailers?
Not particularly. I remember like the big alien battle happened.
Yeah, it showed like the fight in Wakanda at the end. Yeah. It showed the Hulkbuster armor running around with Banner in it. It just showed all of these big set scenes that would have been great surprises had I not been waiting 2.5 hours for them thanks to the trailer.
That Hulkbuster thing was so dumb too.
Yeah.
The Hulk is sad. He doesn't want to come out. So here's armor that is exactly like the Hulk. Why bother?
Don't. No, that's a great. I'm the Hulk defender because I love his story arc that they've done. He became a hero in Ragnarok, and he was renowned on this planet. Right?
He was really good in that. That was so funny.
And then suddenly he comes back to.
He's just like, I don't want God.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He's just constantly Hulk.
He became this great hero. People loved him on Ragnarok, and then he comes back to Earth. He gets his ass kicked by Thanos, and then everyone on Earth hates him. I wouldn't want to come out of Banner either, man. Anyway.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, right.
I do like that they gave Hulk a bit of like, sort of, intellect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like obviously the the first Hulk is just like he hulks out and just smashes everything,
Yeah.
and you can't have him on the Avengers when someone's doing that.
But that's Banner's secret. He's always angry. You know, Banner
Yeah,
slowly
that's a
learns to
great
control
line
it,
and a great scene.
I think it's a great sort of arc that Hulk's gone through. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him next too, because I don't know.
Did he disappear? I don't even remember. I feel like more did than didn't.
Yeah, more did than didn't, which is again the whole reason why most of them have to come back. They had to, because they got rid of all of the big names.
Well, they've still got Cap and Iron Man. Those are the big ones. But
so who do you think's going to come and
Who else was left?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, redheaded lady, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
What's it?
Yeah, humans. Hawkeye.
He wasn't even in Infinity War, was he?
No, he wasn't. And that's explained in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
Kind of. With one line. Basically, they took
Hawkeye sucks.
Basically, they took deals with the government and went and, like... Watch Ant-Man and the Wasp and you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta watch Black Panther.
It's a good
too.
one. And Black Panther was... I enjoyed Black Panther too.
And you're not even black.
Watch out for the Dragon Ball Z Easter egg in Black Panther.
Okay.
Tell me if you figure it out. And I spotted it immediately and Googled it straight
away.
A fun
game.
I saw it and I'm like, that looks like this. Googled it and there's a great reason for. I want to tell you now, but you haven't watched it. It's not a. Do you want to know? It's not really a spoiler. One of the armors that Michael B. Jordan's character wears is Vegeta's armor. It looks like Vegeta's armor, and Michael actually asked the character designers to make it like Vegeta because he fucking loves Dragon Ball Z. And I looked at it and went, that looks so much like... And then I had to Google it when I got home. And he asked for it specifically because he's a DBZ fan.
That's awesome,
and it's
man.
Fantastic.
I love those stories. When Samuel L. Jackson had the purple lightsaber.
So he could stand out in the crowd amongst everyone else.
No, he just wanted to be purple. Like, apparently the story was just like Samuel Jackson's like, I want to be purple. They're like, well, good guys sort of had blue or green and bad guys have red. If you have purple, it's sort of a mix of good and evil, and it's not really your character. It's like, I just want it to be purple. The
story I heard, and again, there's the internet telling you all the different stories.
Yeah.
Because he was in the middle of those big scenes where like there's 50 lightsabers, he wanted purple so people knew it was him.
Yeah.
He's like, Samuel L. Jackson, that one, right there. None of the green and all this other green and red shit. Purple stands out.
But that's the same sort of story, I guess, anyway.
He just wants it, and they gave it to him.
And apparently, like, he's the one that named snakes on a plane.
Sure.
Because, like, it was meant to be called, like, Flight 286 or something.
Okay.
And he's like, why don't you just call it what it is? It's snakes on a plane. Again, I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to believe it.
I believe
I'm going to believe it.
Any story that's cool enough to believe is true.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Story's better, right?
I mean, it's not hurting anyone for me to believe that and to spread it to everyone that doesn't know otherwise. No. And if someone tells me the truth, then they're a bad person. Let me live in this bliss.
So who's going to save Tony Stark in the Avengers?
Oh, I don't know. I don't like predicting that sort of stuff. Like, I want to be surprised.
Sure.
I don't want to think about it too much. That's why
I'll leave the predictions out.
Like, I always want to watch trailers to get hyped, but like you said, the ones that give away stuff from the third act.
I think they finally found the stride though. They make trailers exactly like they made this one, and I think they'd be happy. Just teasers without it should be against the law to put anything from the third act in a trailer ever.
I agree with that.
Just ever. Just show me stuff that's in the first 10 minutes of the film and leave it at that.
But it's also like, maybe there's something at the end of the second act that leads right into the third act. Maybe there's something that you want to know. But yeah, most of the time, just don't show me. Just don't show me till the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's like games are really bad at that too. It's like
sure.
They start releasing them to streamers and reviewers.
Sometimes like a month early.
And like really early, so all the reviews go up. And then sometimes there's like walkthroughs go up. And sometimes little screen grabs of basically spoilers or something. Not always the end boss, but just something you'd want to be surprised by.
Yeah, I know.
Pops up on my newsfeed. I'm like, and the game's not even out yet. And you're like, for fuck's sake, like, stop giving it to people early. And those people, stop showing me things.
Stop killing it for the people that have been waiting 6-12 months for this game, and now
I
know what's going to happen in the story.
Yeah, I'll sometimes stop watching if I'm really hyped about a game, and then like someone messaged me like, oh, did you see Nintendo Treehouse just did like 20 minutes of Zelda? I was like, oh no, I've stopped. I'm off. I'm sold on it. I'm getting it day one. Not watching anything else. And I think I think I'm going to start doing that for trailers as well. Like,
I'll watch the first teaser trailer. I'm not going to watch trailers 2.
Because I'm going to watch the next Avengers. I don't think I need to see another trailer. Like, that I don't want to see anymore.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with what they've set out in this one.
Gonna pay the $15.
I'm gonna see it anyway. Absolutely.
So I've got written down Bandersnatch because Black Mirror. You haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
No, it's on the list, of course.
We have a bunch of things on our list, and
time,
one of us has watched it, but we get more overlap going. Oh, it's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything, obviously, because
sure.
It's hard to.
A couple things about it.
It's hard to spoil it too much because there's so many different.
Yeah. So many
ways
different
to go.
Endings that even the creators couldn't come to a consensus on how many there were at some stage.
Yeah,
these are just internet headlines I've been reading without reading the actual articles because I don't want to spoil it for myself, obviously.
Yeah, without telling you the story, there's one dynamic of it that, maybe you can as well. I don't. So I'm just going to say it. But if you get to an ending, what it sort of does is it'll give you a spot that you can jump back to.
Okay, sure.
And then try again. So if you get a premature ending, it'll be like, there was this decision you made, you can do the other one, or there might be two. I was like, there was this decision, you can go back to one of these spots.
Sure.
And at the beginning, those are really at the beginning, and it sometimes cuts a bit. But when it does that, when you go back, it's a little bit different.
That's pretty cool.
One of the characters sort of knows that you've been there before.
Wow.
And they drop little hints, and then it starts getting more you keep going like that.
Breaking the fourth wall, man.
You get to a few different endings, and you keep going back, and you keep trying other things, and it's really organic.
Great.
It's not like you go, because we thought how many times are we going to do this?
Yeah, you go back and you're just watching the other scene.
Yeah, so it's not like sort of you go back and then you go forward, it's a little bit different, you get back and everything, it starts getting really meta and it starts really fucking with you in such a perfect Black Mirror way.
Yeah, great.
And then
that's all it needed to be was very Black Mirror.
Yeah, and then it just sort of fucks you up, as you'd expect it to. But yeah, so I don't want to talk about the story of it. I just want everyone to go play it, because it's amazing. And obviously we talked about it a little bit, not on any sort of podcast, so let's revisit that. But because there has been Choose Your Own Adventure series before there's some on Netflix. There's like a
Netflix.
Puss in Boots. When we heard about Bandersnatch, I went and did the Puss in Boots one. It's very cute.
That's quite fun.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
The Puss in Boots? Yeah. It's for 4 kids, obviously, but it's it's a fun little DreamWorks.
I enjoyed the concept, for sure.
Yeah, and then, at the end of every story, every in a bit, you can pick which story time book he goes into, 3 bears or whatever, and then you can pick whether they're going to be nice or not nice to him, and, there's a whole different ways to go, and then there's the bad ending, and then, much like Bandersnatch, if you get to the bad ending, it's this was the decision you made, but that one's much more simplistic.
Absolutely, yeah.
I looked up the tree of it, and there's just one decision.
Yeah.
That takes you to the right ending, or the bad ending, and then whatever you do after that is irrelevant.
Yeah, sure, fair enough.
There's one fork in the road.
Made for kids.
So when you get down to the bad ending, however which way you go, it just takes you back to the fork, and you go the other way.
Sure.
And you get to make a few more decisions. But do you think there's going to be many more of them? And I'm what I want to say about it is the animated Puss in Boots and the kids ones, Dora the Explorer is obviously a perfect IP to do it, and Blue's Clues and stuff. I could see kids stuff.
I definitely see the kids market
going, but Bandersnatch apparently has 5.5 hours of footage.
Yeah, I heard more, but that
or something. Yeah, it's in that realm, and
absolutely, it's a lot more than.
It's meant to be an hour and a half movie-ish. I wish I don't know how long it took us, because we took a lot of breaks, because it was.
I went back and you tried a few different options.
Yeah, and we would just stop and we were smoking at the time, so we'd go outside and enjoy the sunshine, or feed the dogs, or get a snack, or whatever, go to the toilet. Yeah. So there's a lot of pausing, so we don't know how long it actually took us.
Sure.
But yeah, to film 5.5 hours, but I guess a lot of content does that already, and they cut a lot of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's wonder how much Bandersnatch would cut too. So,
my thoughts on it is that, yes, there will definitely be more. If only because Bandersnatch produced so much hype. It was the most talked about thing. I saw 1,000 articles the week after it came out, just rolling past my Facebook feed and all my other feeds. So there'll definitely be more. Whether they will be any good or whether they're just trying to ride the Bandersnatch wave, that will be the real big question.
That's what we compared it to 3D almost instantly, where Avatar comes out, James Cameron's like, hey, there's this new thing. Well, it's not really new, but like, there's this technology that's not, or Choose Your Own Adventure's not new, but it's like, this technology can be amazing, look. And then he makes something amazing in Avatar. And everyone's like, wow, this is awesome. And then everyone else is like, wow, Avatar sold more tickets than anything else ever in the history of films. And it has 3Ds, let's put 3D in. And I got to the point where I would wait an hour and a half later than I wanted to see the movie just to get the 2D one.
Did you see many 3D movies?
Yeah, like a bunch. Just because you want to see the movie, and all the sessions are in 3D, and you're like, all right,
there was 2 different kinds of 3D movies, and you could tell them almost as soon as you sat down. It was the filmed in 3D, which were only a handful of them in the end, and then the converts. The conversions were dreadful.
They just had like a couple things.
It just felt like a pop-up book. There was 3 different layers, 3 or 4 different layers, and for someone who wears glasses too, it took a long time for them to make. They have them now where they have the clip-on ones that clip on the front of your glasses, and they're perfect. Oh, right. But it took most of the time. By the time that those came out, 3D was already starting to disappear from cinemas, and I don't think there is many, if any, 3D movies showing anymore. No,
some of the big blockbusters will have a couple 3D sessions, but I think more of the majority has swung back to 2D. I think the only ones that I've seen are like the Illumination and other animated stuff. Will have a couple of 3D sessions right at the beginning, only in school holidays and those peak periods where the kids will still love it. Yeah. But none of the big, I'm not seeing any of the big blockbusters even come out with 3D lately. Yeah. Well, back to obviously Choose Your Own Adventure, because now will a bunch of other people, like will a bunch of other IPs latch onto it? Because like Black Mirror, like Avatar with 3D, was just the perfect thing to do it, because it got meta, and it they always cover. It got head fucky. It got dark. Got twisted. Yeah, it made you like make bad decisions. Yeah, like there's one point where you got to choose like 2 people to fucking die. Like one of like you get to pick which one. I won't say any more than that, but like, it's hard, and the clock runs down. Yeah. So if you don't choose, it chooses for you. There's a few video games that do exactly that, which I think is great. Yeah, but that's no new ground for video games, but it's new ground for Netflix in the adult realm. Is there one IP that you would like to see try out the Choose Your Own Adventure thing? I mean, Black Mirror is just the perfect one. I have one that jumped to mind, but I can't think of another one. Because a lot of like the big IPs that you think are really popular are still doing like cinematic releases. Sure. And other things like, I mean, as good as Black Mirror Bandersnatch is, all the other shows I like Breaking Bad, and I like Sons of Anarchy, and I like Game of Thrones because they've got a writer writing something amazing for me. Yeah, sure. Tell me yours. Doctor Who. You see, I've never really watched Doctor Who, but that makes sense. It won't obviously be as dark and meta and Black Mirror as Bandersnatch. Yeah, but it goes to all different time travel. Yeah, time travel. You got a box you can jump into, go back, different dimensions. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the only one that really jumps to mind that I think could do a light-hearted version of that, where time and space, you can literally time travel is in every single episode, different dimensions, different planets. That's a good idea. And they have the money. It's another big IP that could invest some actual time into it. Maybe only do it as a one-off thing. They've already got 10,000 episodes. Yeah, that's right. And they do a Christmas and New Year. Well, this year it was a New Year's thing, but they do a end-of-year show. That's been their thing every year. I can see, like, just as their end-of-year thing, have a nice extra long something. They could do it. I think, though, if we see any more of them, they're going to be the ones we don't want to see. It's going to be someone's going to try it because Bandersnatch did it, and it's going to be dreadful, and we're going to hate the concept of it as soon as that's what I'm worried about. Yeah. Again, 3D. It's a 3D thing all over again. Yeah, I want to know if anyone's going to take it on, because Black Mirror was poised to do something like that. It was their idea. They did it right. Anyone else? Like, I still think the budgetary confines of it, because Black Mirror, like I said, it's got a big following. for one. Netflix owns it, so they can invest in it. Everyone fucking like loves it. Like it was in the right constraints there, and like none of the stuff they filmed is overly like budget heavy.
Yeah, sure.
Like some of Netflix is
big CGI action sequences.
Yeah, like have you seen Sense8 on Netflix? Yeah, so that was like one of Netflix's original shows that you could just tell had just cost way too much to make. Yeah. So even though it had the following, it was too expensive, and so you can't see a show like of that magnitude doing a choose your own adventure because it's already too expensive to make. Yeah. Another thing about Bandersnatch is I'd love to see the numbers. Netflix doesn't show their numbers.
Yeah,
that's why I love YouTube, because you're just like,
you can tell.
This is how many people watch this. This is what's popular. Baby Shark, yeah, well, I mean, I guess 2 billion people watched it.
Yeah.
But Netflix is just like, no.
No, they're our numbers.
No, you don't even know. I don't even think the people that make the stuff, like, I've heard podcasts of, Bill Burr talking about his show, F is for Family, and I don't even think they know the exact numbers they do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
well,
very
Netflix pays them for it and they renew the seasons, but I don't think they know the exact numbers.
They don't give them the numbers like a TV station probably used to give everyone the numbers.
Well, the TV ratings was always a bit iffy, wasn't it? Like,
sure.
Apparently, some families had that box.
Yep.
And they used that to just extrapolate. But they still have ratings, so digital, maybe there's like something.
Maybe
ways. No, there's not feedback. There's not two-way. Fuck, so some people have got to have some sort of box or something. But I think it's all
12
probably
people.
It's all a load of shit. Like, how many people do you know with a TV and they don't have the box? Like, how many
people that you know that put the TV on and walk away from it and leave it on?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that counting towards ratings? Anyway.
It's funny because there's some games I've played that I have like so many more hours than I actually have because I've paused it and just like gone for a walk or something,
or like left it on overnight.
On Bandersnatch, they're being sued by the Choose Your Own Adventure book author because they say Choose Your Own Adventure and refer to a book and say Bandersnatch is a Choose Your Own Adventure book, and the guy owns the trademark. And we talked about this, like that guy must love that.
Oh, absolutely.
He saw it and like he's suing because it tarnishes the name, because obviously Black Milk is dark.
Black Mirror is
absolutely, Black Milk is a clothing line.
Absolutely.
They do women's tights. Some of them are dark. Evil clowns all over them. No, Black Mirror, it's dark, and the Choose Your Own Adventures are fun kids adventure books. And
when was the last?
There's a guy in it, or the main character says Bandersnatch is a Choose Your Own Adventure book.
So actually holds up a book, references the brand,
the trademarked brand.
They approached the Choose Your Own Adventure guy.
That was the thing. Apparently, they tried to license the trademark, and
he refused because of the theming and whatnot of Black Mirror.
Well, and the price probably wasn't right.
Yeah, that too.
I'm sure if they gave him $75 million to begin with, which is what he's suing for now.
$75 million. Wow.
Well, apparently it was $25 million was the damages.
Yep.
However you calculate that, he's gonna make nobody's buying those books anymore. You're not going to lose out on $25 million worth of sales. But then apparently because of the intent, because they approached him, he said no. So that every intent to do it he's going for treble damages.
I'd like to know when the last book came out. When was the last time he actually released the
Choose Your Own Adventure book? I don't know, man.
Probably, I want to say 15, 20 years ago at least, right? Maybe longer. Probably longer.
Yeah, he's just sitting on the trademark of waiting for this to happen.
Absolutely.
But I mean, the law's the law.
Sure.
If you got a trademark and they ask you to use it and you say no and they use it anyway. Sue him. I don't know how much he should get. That's not my realm, but copyright. But he's got to get some sort of
same time
compensation. I'd rather him get compensation than Bandersnatch gets taken down.
Probably Netflix would probably just, for something like that, they'd have to just settle.
Oh, they're settling it. Yeah, they'll
just sign a check.
They'll pay him off.
Get him out of the way.
It's just a numbers game. How much they're going to give him, how much he's going to get.
Sure.
But he's going to get something because it seems clear cut to me if those are the facts.
Him and are they are facts? Absolutely.
But if I was him, I fucking love that. I'm no, you can't use my trademark. Then you watch Bandersnatch, you guys are signing me a big check.
Get my Rolodex. I need.
Remember that number you offered me? It's going to be so much more than that now. Oh man. Oh, so segue into apparently Fortnite is Netflix's biggest competitor. Yeah. Or Netflix said something like they lose out to Fortnite more than HBO, just for like screen time.
Okay.
It's a weird comparison, but
you're getting into a funny realm when you're starting to compare. It's apples and oranges, I guess. I mean, it is all screen time. It is,
but it's also
the amount of time someone's spending on their
Fortnite's on phones and tablets and like every device. Like the devices you would use to watch Netflix can almost all play Fortnite.
Okay, this is true.
So I guess it's in the realm.
I've got Netflix on my PS4 and everything else now as well.
But yeah, it's whenever you talk about Fortnite, I always think of kids. Just because, I mean, that's the way the culture seems to go. When the kids latch onto something, then it goes apeshit, like Minecraft did. Like
Minecraft did, yeah.
Everyone's like, adults just like, this is fun, this is colourful, and kids are like, ooh, we love it! Do the dances.
He knows how to floss.
We talked about this with sports, though. Like, when we talked about esports, and we're just like, well, I mean, esports is the fastest growing sport or whatever. And all these sports started buying up esports teams. And we're just like, why? Like, those markets don't cross over. But I think it comes down to kids. Like, if kids are playing more Fortnite or wanting to be esports athletes rather than watching sports and playing sports, then the future of your industry, you've got to future-proof your industry a little bit by making sure kids are growing up into your content. Which is, I mean, the reason we're sitting besides so much Nintendo shit is because Nintendo was what I watched, like, played as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they kept their IP going, because I think Netflix and Fortnite and all that sort of stuff want to be like compete for the kids to keep them in their business for a long time. It's
an apples and oranges to me, though. I don't know. I'd never compare my TV time to my game time.
Yeah, but I mean,
I guess it is now.
I mean, we were just talking about Bandersnatch. I mean, that's as much a game as.
Well, this is it is blurring.
As much
the lines,
a game as like The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones, the Telltale games were.
Sure, and I guess it is getting to the point where when you come home from work or school or whatever, you have X amount of time for home entertainment.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do with that time? Are you going to pick up a controller and play Fortnite? You're going to put on Netflix and watch TV?
I mean, PlayStation and Xbox started bridging that gap when they said, this is going to be your home entertainment thing. You can watch Netflix on it. You can watch YouTube on it. You can just, whatever you need, pick up our console.
Pick up the controller. And
so if kids are like, well, Netflix and Fortnite are next to each other on their PS4s, then you can see how they would be compared. So I think Netflix was saying like, that's how the entertainment is consumed more than losing out to HBO, because kids aren't changing that source from HDMI 4 to TV or cable or whatever HBO is.
They probably don't know how to, that's why.
We didn't get HBO. No, like Game of Thrones is the biggest torrent. Like Australia is the biggest torrenter of Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones is the biggest torrented thing because they don't give us a good way to watch it legally.
I did hear that The Walking Dead surpassed Game of Thrones in downloads from Australia this year. Mainly
more
due to
episodes, and Game of Thrones
mainly due to the fact that there was no Game of Thrones season this year, but it's just showing you that we're still powering a hell of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give us a good way. We have Foxtel, which is just stupidly expensive for how little is on it.
Yeah.
But they bought up like the rights to AFL, like our Australian rules football, and Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, all the HBO shows.
Yep.
And then they charge $45 a month, and that's all. Like, it's sports and HBO. Like, that's all that's worth it. There's some comedy and stuff, and some Comedy Central stuff,
and 30-year-old shows that have been playing on repeat on it for about 30 years.
It's got to get to the point where Comedy Central and HBO and Disney, they all have their own streaming services, and they have to be worldwide.
Disney's is already in the.
It's in the works.
It's in the works. That's
but like, soon. And there's HBO Online as well.
Sure.
And there's Amazon Prime, but the problem with being in Australia is they don't all have the same content. Like, even our Netflix doesn't have the same content, which is crazy. Like, there's some
insane, isn't it?
There's some comedy specials owned by Netflix that we don't have in Australia, but I saw them in America.
And that doesn't make sense at all.
That doesn't make sense.
It was a Netflix-owned thing. You can understand licensing deals, I guess. For
that's why HBO Online doesn't work here, because they have the licensing deal with Foxtel. So they don't. They've signed that away. Makes sense.
Stupid, but that's at least
understandable. Sucks for the end consumer. Great for Rupert Murdoch. I have a lot of issues with
money.
I have a lot of issues with Foxtel.
Yeah, sure.
I hate it so much. That's our one cable thing, and it sucks, and it's not stupidly expensive. And they delay some of the live sports games on free-to-air TV because they're on Foxtel. Because they're on Foxtel. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're on Foxtel. 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 Yeah. Because Make him rage.
And Fortnite's getting sued too.
Oh,
look at all these segues.
Everyone's getting sued, man.
Netflix getting sued.
Who's
Fortnite.
the latest? The Orange Kid's mum?
Yeah, Backpack Kid, Turk.
No, Turk's not suing.
Carlton.
Carlton's suing.
Oh, Turk. Donald Faison. I'm gonna use his real name.
Yeah.
He said he might seek legalize. I think the latest story, maybe he did join on. I think they're all sort of banding together now.
The latest story that I read, and this was only today or yesterday, was that Fortnite had actually approached the producer of Scrubs to use that one. Oh. So that's again, these are just skim read articles, but the latest one was Orange Kid Mum, another one of the kids that were on the internet. His mum approached because he's still underage, I guess. So I guess that's the way the legal guardians work or whatever.
It's all so gross, though, isn't it? Like,
and then in that same article, it said that Scrubs was approached by Fortnite to utilize that dance move. So that's why Faison... that's probably the main reason and only reason Faison isn't. However, they didn't approach people like Carlton or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back then for that dance move.
Well, Faison only did it once, so it's probably more owned by Scrubs than him anyway. But
whereas Carlton,
whatever his name is... I'll edit it in. I won't. Well, he did it a bunch of times. He did on Dancing with the Stars. He did it on TV appearances,
different appearances and everything,
and it became part of his his brand. Yeah. So, and apparently you can't trademark a dance move, but you can trademark a series of moves that turns into a choreography. So the Floss Kid might be out of luck because it's just one move.
And apparently he wasn't the creator of that either. That was an internet, well, not an internet thing, but apparently another thing was that came from somewhere earlier than Backpack Kid, but he was the one that just went viral with it.
Yeah, maybe.
But also,
who cares?
If you have a look at what I think it's coming down to as well, it's not so much as these people were the ones that created it, but they are mocapping their performances of it. So if you have a look at Scrubs one, they used Donald Faison. They took the video of him doing it and mocapped that video. They didn't hire somebody else to learn the move and mocap them. It's all just really shonky territory, though.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's all about what can be trademarked, because Fortnite, if they didn't approach these people, they've obviously knocked it off. So it's just a matter of what is. I've seen a lot of people going, you should have trademarked your dance if you want to sue, but that's not how it works. You don't like, if you paint a picture, you don't have to go to the trademark office and go, I painted this. Like, it's yours. If someone else steals it, they've stolen your IP. Like, you can make art, and if someone else distributes it, they've stolen it. Like, that's you're protected that way.
Absolutely.
With dance moves, I got interested and looked it up, and apparently, it's got to be a full choreography. It can't just be one move. So, like, maybe you can't do the sprinkler, but if you do Donald Faison's dance, that's obviously a
series of moves.
That's a full series of moves. And the random kid, I think, probably falls under it. Carlton definitely does. Floss, I'm not so sure. Like, that's just one move.
Is that one move? That's right.
I mean, like, I don't know what's going to happen. I think Fortnite should pay him up, because they obviously didn't have the money at the beginning to hire dancers, so they stole people's dances.
Yeah.
Now they have money.
Yeah.
So they've profited off a product that incorporated someone else's art, and now they should pay some of those profits to the artists. Like, it's just do it. Like, settle it. You've got so much money.
You've got the money.
But I mean, I guess that's like admitting the fault and whatever. Or take the dancers out.
That would open some gates.
Apparently Drake is like beating down on their door.
Yeah, he wants to pay them to put his Hotline Bling
in
there, right?
He said if they put his Hotline Bling dance in, he would do a rap or a song about Fortnite.
I got the Hotline Bling emote in Destiny.
Which is just my cue to leave the internet. That's the day that's the day I'm out.
Yeah.
It's like, they put Drake into Fortnite, so Drake sings about Fortnite, and my Facebook account is done.
The whole computer just
Twitter
in the
Twitter
trash.
and Facebook out.
Fire.
Anywhere I would see that, I'm out of. No, Drake's fine. Whatever, he's doing his thing. He seems like a nice enough guy. He's not pissing on young girls like Kelly. He's in trouble again. Like, what the hell?
Oh, I know.
How? Like, wasn't that like 10 years ago? Like,
at
more.
Least
10 to 20 years ago, he got in trouble for pissing on a young girl and releasing a video, and now he's in trouble again. Fuck, man.
Some people just don't learn.
That's so funny. That's got to be like a real kink if you're still doing it.
If you're still doing it, yeah.
That's so crazy to me. And Louis C.K. is back.
Yeah.
And now everyone's mad because he's not, like, he's doing like jokes about being a bad person. And everyone's just like, you need... Yeah, it's on brand, but like...
He's always done it.
He kind of, after you stooped to that level and got caught, and you didn't... Like, his apology was so shit too. Like, really I'm a big fan of, like, Louis' art, but, like, his apology was so shit. And then he comes back and he doesn't address it at all, doesn't talk about it.
When you say he comes back, is this the... he went to some small pub and he's trying new material?
No, went to a comedy... He went to the store, I think.
Oh, was it really?
Or the cellar, or whichever one.
I just heard some... random
and someone uploaded it, which is like a bad move. Like, comics need time to work out this stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, he obviously had that audience laughing, so the content of his stuff was working in the room. Whether it's appropriate or not, that's for the attendees to get offended,
right?
Not me. But yeah, like, it's just crazy
thing though, right?
It's just crazy that he's still
making those kind of jokes.
He hasn't announced the comeback. He's just like, I'm gonna slip into a club and do this. And I mean, sort of should expect it. Maybe you should have done that bag phone thing where no one can record him.
Right.
But it's all pretty funny. But how did we get there? Oh, yeah, Drake, R. Kelly, Louis C.K., Kinks.
Fortnite, yeah.
I wonder if Louis C.K. is still masturbating in front of people. Surely.
Is that a thing?
Maybe he's just getting, like, webcam girls to watch him on his webcam. Like, why wouldn't you just do that to satisfy yourself? I don't know.
I don't know.
The last thing on our list is actually still on brand as well, like Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah.
Sexual controversy.
Yeah.
Well, you know more about this than I do, so you want to take it away?
So I've not actually
no gays allowed.
I've not actually played the content yet, but I've heard the story and read the story and know about it. So Assassin's Creed, one of the big things that people loved about Assassin's Creed Odyssey when it came out was you can choose to play as a male or a female character.
Yeah.
And you can choose to romance, and by romance, I mean fuck literally anybody that you want. Well, not anybody. There's a bunch of different NPCs that you can have romantic interludes with.
Yeah, kind of like Stardew Valley type
absolutely,
of thing.
But it doesn't matter what sex you choose. You can sleep with men or women at your will, both at the same time. In some cases, there's a goat involved in one of the scenes, but that's...
they were Greeks. I mean,
that's right.
The famous era for male intimacy.
But it was just... They're very open about it and allowed you to make your own choices, male or female. And it was all... They got a lot of acclaim for just being...
Greeks were great with that.
Absolutely.
Where did it go wrong? Christianity. Yeah.
Well, not so much even. Even the Romans, where Christianity took over a lot. There was a great scene in one of the Doctor Who's. You said you don't watch Doctor Who. One of the lesbian... The first, maybe, lesbian companion of the Doctor got trapped with these bunch of Roman soldiers, and someone's attracted to her, and she goes, "Oh, I think you're barking up the wrong bush there. I like girls." And they're like, "Oh, you only like girls? That's a bit weird, because they like everybody." And they're like, "Oh, you're like him. He only likes men. That's a bit weird." what do you mean it's a bit weird? "Oh, we like girls and boys usually. Like, we just go with whatever." Yeah, it's very, very open.
The way to be.
Yeah,
I try to train my brain into like thinking that's okay, but I can't do it.
The ancient world was just whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah, because I don't know. I could have had way more sex if I was bisexual. Gay guys generally liked me, but I just couldn't do it.
Wasn't your thing?
I tried. No, I didn't actively try. I tried to convince myself that I could try, but I couldn't even do that.
Whatever's your thing.
And I wonder if I did get conditioned that way. Like maybe someone like, just out in the wild, living with the wolves, would just grow up bisexual.
Well, that was the big thing with
that's a whole different kettle
of fish. The Greeks and the Romans, right? Because they were away from their homes for years sometimes on these.
Oh yeah,
war
like the
campaigns.
Whole thing about sailors as well.
So it was about and sailor stuff, right? So it was all mermaids. About they had companions while they're on the road, and then they went back to their wives. But it's because the only other guys were soldiers at that time, so they were just fucking other guys. But back to the AC controversy for Assassin's Creed. In the latest DLC...
back from gay Romans to the gay Greeks.
Had to reel you back in there a little bit. So in the latest DLC, you meet this major character who is the wielder of the first Assassin's Blade, and it's how that becomes a thing. Apparently you are forced into a heterosexual relationship with another character. Yeah. And if you're a man, it's a lady character, and if you're a lady, it's a man. So no matter who you've chosen as your hero, you're forced into a heterosexual relationship Obviously, big spoilers, we should have said before, because you have a child with them.
Okay.
And I believe, again, without having played the content and not knowing any more than the article I've read, I assume that this is where the assassin sort of begins, and that child is perhaps
so the DLC story is
assassin. It's baked into the story that you end up in a heterosexual relationship and have a child with.
Yeah, so the kid's too important to let you be gay.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And the developers came out straight away and apologized, which I don't think they really needed to do. I understand why they did it, to ensure their fans.
Apologize to the offense, I guess, but yeah.
But they're also...
That's a tricky one.
They're also telling a story. It's a story where... And if you have a look at the Assassin's Creed as a series, it started in one place, went forward in time, and now we've jumped back thousands of years. So we're filling in the gaps between what we already know about the Assassins and this whole couple of thousand, or probably 2,000 years in between, where we're still filling out that time.
Yeah.
We went back to ancient Egypt, now we've gone back another 1,000 years before that to ancient Greece. So we have to get to those set points in the story somehow.
Yeah.
And
as long as you can
men and women have to have babies to make more men and women.
As long as you can keep banging the same sex after you have the baby, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah,
you just gotta have the love child. But I don't know how the story goes.
Yeah, and I can't say too much more because obviously I haven't played through the content either.
It just seems like, I guess it's a fine line. You don't want to offend anyone. If you want people to immerse themselves and see themselves in the character, and if they are LGBTQI+, then they kind of want to act that way, and you want to tell a story about a love child, and
it's tricky, absolutely.
I don't. Yeah, whatever. They did what they did. I don't think you can get too offended over that.
One of the main reasons, I think, was just because how open they were at the beginning of the game, and they just they let you be you, and they let you choose a lady or a man, and there's no difference between them. I chose Cassandra. I've been playing as Cassandra, the girl, because she is badass. And if you're going to stare at someone in a short skirt for 40 hours, I personally would prefer to watch some lady legs run around.
That's such a pervy thing.
No, it's she's great. She's buff. She's
I think I've only ever picked one female character, and that was in Diablo 3.
Sure.
Because I wanted to be the rogue or whatever it was, the assassin. We both picked the same class initially. It was assassin or rogue or something like that. But I hated how the male one looked.
Sure.
It was just so ugly. And you picked the male. You picked the male one. And I was just like, ugh, it's so gross.
I would choose them over character model all the time. It's just aesthetics. That's the main thing. I looked at the main reason I chose it in Assassin's Creed was the voice actor. Cassandra's voice actor, I love her voice acting. I saw a lot of stuff preceding it. A lot of people will argue that they like the man's one better. He has some more, I don't want to say range, because it's not... You're a Spartan character, and they expected a Spartan to be a Spartan man, because that's a Spartan. I just like her voice acting better. I think she's got a better accent. So I chose it completely on her voice.
Nothing wrong with that. Alright, well, let's wrap this up after all this gay talk by talking about dicks. Woo! Back to our
big dick energy
recurring segment, big dick energy. So for
I'm excited about
those
big
that
dicks.
Didn't watch or listen to the first episode, basically what we do over here is at the end of each episode we pick 3 video game characters on our quest to find who we think has the biggest slogan hog.
Bam's getting his AMSR voice on.
Yes, children, let's talk about dicks.
Right now I'm gonna eat
So
some
I'm going to
potato
ask
chips.
my companion here, Maramus.
That's me, baby.
Which of these 3 characters has a big hog, a normal size hog, and a small hog? And
I'm scared and excited.
This episode's characters are Link.
Oh, this is a good one. I like
Link,
this.
Ganondorf, and Tingle. So I'm going to keep that up for a little bit. You get it in your head, and I'm going to give the viewers back to pretty places.
I'm torn straight away with this one. Oh, how fitting is that? I'm wearing my Zelda shirt too.
Yeah, no, it was fate. Is that a Skyward, or is that all of them?
No, this is from the symphonic concert
I
went to
see.
in Sydney.
How was that?
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Nice.
Front row balcony, right above the pianist. It's magnificent. Sydney Opera House, main theatre.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anymore because I'm going to writhe with jealousy. So
Yeah,
let's talk
it's
about
great.
dicks.
So let's talk about Zelda's dicks.
So is Link
Alright, so you got
the
Link.
hero of Schlong? Is Ganondorf got the
Ganon.
dick power? Or Tingle Tingle Penis Kala?
Kalulian penis.
Oh, that was all ad-libbed. You would never know it.
No, I know. I would have gone with Tingle Tingle Kalulian penis, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, all right. It's easy to improve slightly on someone else's ad-libs, isn't it? Tingle Tingle Kaloo, fuck you. All right, who's overcompensating? Who's got that confidence?
Ganondorf's the big dig confidence man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just strolling through there.
He's just strolling through
Triforce
there.
of power.
Triforce of power. The one man in 100 years to be born to the Gerudo. He knows he's got the biggest dick in the village because he's the only dick in the village.
The first dick in 100 years has got to be a hog.
Dick, right? he's,
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just he's got that big deep voice most of the time. He knows.
He's dragging it through the sand. When you're tracking him, it's like two footprints in a
and
line.
That's canon now too.
And he does turn into a giant beast.
Yeah.
Like, you
Giant
ever seen a
pig
giant
beast.
boar without
big
giant
dick?
boar's dick? Oh
Yeah.
man, I hate this segment. I love it. It's my favorite
Yeah,
thing
it's
to ever, and it's
fantastic.
the worst thing on the internet already. Sorry to my family, but you're welcome to the internet.
Yeah, no, Ganon, totally big dick energy, man.
Well,
All in black. You know, dragging it in the sand. That's going to be the image that sticks with me, though, I think. Just that line in between the two footprints.
Oh, that's the best. Well, now you got to pick someone with a small dick. So it's either got to be Link or Tingle.
Link or Tingle.
Someone.
No, I think it's pretty straightforward, this one. Tingle has to be the little dick. I'm sorry. He can't hide it in that
In the leotard.
onesie leotard thing. He's a special character. All the love in the world for Tingle, but
I think maybe he was born like on the verge of the genders.
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
a micro penis even.
yeah, okay.
But I don't know, like micro penis, you think small dick energy would take over and they'd be a bit more frantic. This guy's just being himself.
This guy's just loving life, man. He's just
Maybe he's just the eunuch.
ooh.
Maybe a
No
micro
dick
penis,
energy.
Micro penis, no dick energy.
Yeah.
Micro penis, no balls.
No
like just
balls.
Underdeveloped. Decided to be a fairy instead of a man.
Yeah, what do they called in classical music? The castrati? When they used to actually do
Castrate.
that, so castrate them to ensure they could keep their high voices. Maybe that's Hyrule's version of the castrati. We've just got Tingles running around
And
everywhere.
people talk about video games messing kids up, but we used to
do
castrate
some messed
people
up
for
thing.
music.
For
Like,
music, yeah, that was a thing. They used to cut off their own testicles.
man, humans are the worst.
So they could sing in high voices for their entire lives.
Man, I was thinking like we're bad people for judging video game characters' dicks,
By
like
their dicks.
hypothetically, and then you think about the garbage that people do out in the real world, and
Yeah.
we're just being silly on the internet. So fuck
Yeah,
everyone.
We're fine, man.
Fuck
We're
you if you're
absolutely
judging
fine.
us.
And Link is completely average.
Completely average.
Like just
5.5, 6 inches.
average as it gets.
So 9 inches, flaccid. Just average.
Sure. You wish.
That's what porn taught me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just so average.
Yeah.
Link's great, but
Yeah, I've never really thought about his dick, so maybe he's probably just average.
Hmm.
All right, there
what
we
do you
go.
think he needs the Master Sword? He needs something a bit bigger.
Oh, that's what it feels like to go in all the way. That's what it feels like to reach the hard bit.
I'll
the
see
end.
you in 100 years.
Well, I mean, Zelda doesn't seem too dissatisfied. All right, so last week we had Wario as the big dick, and now we've got Ganondorf. The
Wario and
leaderboard is
Ganondorf.
taking place. A lot of villains already. Well, the last week was all villains.
Yeah,
So-
true.
Okay,
We're
so that
starting
was
to get a picture of the Nintendo world and then dicks.
the hogs.
So sorry guys, who's next on the list? Oh god,
The Nintendo
dongs.
dongs. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say dorks, but
Nintendo.
yeah, but that's just like a nerd thing. Like,
Yeah,
dork
true.
is a
Dork
whale's
is-
penis. It's a big penis. Technically, it is more correct because
But
it's
no
a
one
big
uses
penis.
that, especially
Yeah, but
Australians. they
Someone's
use dork.
like, there's probably a podcast out there who's like, we're called the Nintendorks because we're dorks are like
'Cause we're
Nintendo.
dorks are like Nintendo.
And we're just like, that's
No
what a
disrespect
video
here.
game
Yeah.
character's big hog is. Well, I'm gonna end it on that. Nintendongs.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
thank you. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow on the Twitch and download
We'll
the
be back
podcast.
soon.
Still more. Like,
Still more.
actually, just watch it live and then watch it again with slight edits,
Immediately.
and then listen to it in the car just in case you missed.
Then find somebody else's computer and watch it on their computer.
Or just recommend it to your friends. I mean,
All of the above.
that's really what you want to do. You just want to tell everyone. I mean,
Send
I'm
me-
going to tell all my friends once this is up.
And message us on all the things and tell us what you want us to talk about and rant about, because there was no structure to this and we love it. And we're not going to talk about anything that you want us to talk about anyway. We'll just bullshit about Seinfeld again. And
Yeah. So
Nintendo
what
dicks.
night is this going to come out on YouTube? I'm going to say Friday nights.
you going to do it on Friday?
It's going to come out Friday nights, and then on Twitch.
Friday night's alright.
Twitch, you're just going to have to follow, because we're just going to be banking these as much as possible, and then
Do a couple here and there.
and then
Get 'em out when we
podcast wherever you download podcasts, and then YouTube on Fridays, every new episode. We're going to get some guests in. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we love you. Goodbye, internet.
Bye.